music titan and movie star and civil rights leader Harry Belafonte has died. A spokesman says he died this morning of congestive heart failure in New York City. Belafonte was 96 years old. NBC News correspondent Rahima Ellis has a look back at his legacy.
His voice made Harry Belafonte famous, but growing up in Harlem in Jamaica, his mother taught him to use it to do more than entertain.
She would say to me, never go to bed at night knowing that you have spent a day in which you have done nothing to try to change injustice.
And Belafonte started fighting early, joining the Navy at 17 to serve in the Pacific during World War II. After the war, he sang in clubs before receiving a Tony Award for his 1953 Broadway debut. Yeah. Next came success in Hollywood, including an Academy Award nomination for Carmen Jones. His career was one of firsts, the first African-American to win an Emmy.
Down the way where the nights are gay and
his album Calypso became the first to sell 1 million copies. Through it all, Belafonte made his voice heard. A friend and confidant of Martin Luther King, Belafonte marshaled celebrities to the cause of civil rights.
No one can deny the fact that art and culture played a huge role in how human minds and hearts were opened and touched.
At King's funeral, he shed tears beside King's widow.
I roamed the streets, leaderless.
Belafonte spent his life on the front lines, protesting apartheid, calling for a ban on nuclear weapons. To fight famine in Africa, Harry Belafonte once again gathered celebrities to raise awareness and more than $60 million. In 1994, Bill Clinton awarded Belafonte the National Medal of Arts. Belafonte spent more than 25 years as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador and dedicated his later years to inspiring a new generation of artist activists.
We still have wars, we still have poverty. As long as these things exist, there's always going to be something to do, but that cannot distract from the fact that we're on the way.
A way paved in part by a man and his music.
Daylight come and me won't go home.
Rahima Ellis, NBC News.
What a voice, what a man, what a legacy. I want to bring in Reverend Al Sharpton, host of MSNBC's Politics Nation and president of the National Action Network, and back with us, MSNBC's Simone Sanders Townsend. Reverend, Harry Belafonte just leaves behind a huge legacy. He impacted so many parts of society. What are you thinking about with his passing today?
That you could not really estimate the impact of Harry Belafonte. Harry Belafonte was an activist extraordinaire and an intellect. And he never really got the credit he should have gotten. He was one of the first ones to really break through a black entertainer in mainstream music as well as in movies. He did all of this as being one person. It was unbelievable. And when I got to know him, I was a young activist coming up in the King movement in the North. He would spend time with us and reprimand us. No, you should do this. No, you should do that. He was very strategic. No one knew movement stuff better than Harry Belafonte. It was Harry that helped to get entertainers, from Marlon Brando to Sidney Poitier, to support Dr. King, and then all the way up to the work we've done around police brutality. He marched with us down Fifth Avenue around the police killing of Sean Bell. And I remember just last year when France was going to honor him, and because he was a little frail, they had to do it in his residence, in a room in his residence, and only 10 or 12 of us, Ken Sunshine would call us his publicist and say who his wife has said he wanted to be there. And that was the last time I saw him. And he sat there, he says, I watched your show. You need to correct this, you need to correct that. In fact, he did Politics Nation a couple of times. He's always was a mentor, always was a teacher. but he was always one that was bigger than life. There would not have been the civil rights movement the way it played out. There would not have been a movement around reform, and there would not be blacks that broke through in the 50s in entertainment had it not been a Harry Belafonte. I think to call him an icon is an understatement.